The night air was sharp, carrying the metallic taste of rain yet to fall. Michael walked through the dim corridor of his campus dorm, clutching his phone, his thumb trembling on the voicemail icon. The message had come at 12:01 a.m., anonymous yet personal, and the moment he pressed play, the voice that poured through the tiny speaker froze him in place. It was his own voice, cracked with terror, begging, "Please help me. Don't let them take me." The sound of dragging, wet sobbing, and then silence pressed into his ears like a vice. He whispered to himself, "This can't be real," but his knees weakened as the echo carried through the hall. The world around him seemed to shift, the fluorescent lights humming louder, shadows stretching longer, as if listening. He pressed the phone closer to his ear, even though dread screamed for him to stop, and the voicemail repeated, looping endlessly like a curse. Michael sat on his bed, hands locked together as if squeezing them would crush the fear out. The voicemail still played in his head, his own desperate voice echoing in loops. He whispered, "It's just a trick. Someone hacked me." Yet the dorm room's silence pressed down on him heavier than any rational thought. His laptop glowed faintly, but even that familiar hum seemed sinister tonight. The walls felt closer, the posters of smiling faces seemed mocking. He turned up the volume, but the voicemail did not distort or break. It grew clearer, almost too close, as though the sound was not coming from the phone at all, but from inside the room. He dropped the device onto the sheets, staring at it like it had teeth. His pulse thundered in his ears, and he muttered, "If this is a prank, it's gone too far." But the phone lit up again with a single word flashing. "Play." The air in the dorm felt charged, every hum of the heater vibrating inside his skull. Michael forced himself to unlock the phone again, heart hammering with each tap of his finger. The message began once more, his own panicked cries, now layered with faint metallic scraping like chains, dragging across concrete. His breathing grew ragged. He said, "It's me, but not me." His reflection in the dark laptop screen caught his eye, pale, wide-eyed. But as the voicemail screamed through the tiny speaker, the reflection's lips moved out of sync. He jolted back, knocking over a half-empty cup of coffee, brown liquid bleeding across papers. His shaking voice whispered, "What's happening to me?" The phone suddenly cut to silence, yet the reflection lingered, lips frozen mid-scream. Michael staggered to his feet, gripping the edge of the desk as his reflection returned to normal. He told himself, "I'm exhausted, hallucinating, that's all." He tried to laugh, but the sound cracked into a dry cough. The voicemail notification blinked again, persistent and mocking. He tapped play with trembling fingers, bracing himself. This time, the voice wasn't only begging. It said, "Michael, don't answer the door." His chest tightened, his gaze shooting toward the locked dorm door, shadows pooling beneath it. The silence of the hall outside seemed louder than the message itself. His throat went dry as footsteps echoed faintly beyond the door, deliberate, slow, as though pacing back and forth, waiting. The footsteps outside stopped, leaving the silence more suffocating than sound. Michael's phone buzzed again, another voicemail. His pulse raced as he pressed play, though his body screamed not to. The recording was different now. It was him, whispering in terror. "It's already inside." His stomach lurched, eyes darting to every shadow. The closet door stood ajar, though he swore he had closed it earlier. He stepped back slowly, chest heaving, gripping the phone like a weapon. He whispered, "This isn't real. It can't be." The room felt colder, his breath fogging faintly. A creak echoed from the closet's darkness. The voicemail ended with one final line, his own trembling voice saying, "Turn around." Morning sunlight pierced through blinds, but it brought no comfort. Michael sat hunched at his desk, phone face down, as if hiding it could erase what he'd heard. The voicemail still gnawed at him, looping in memory. He muttered, "It can't be real, I don't sound like that." His roommate Daniel knocked lightly before stepping in, his smile faltering at Michael's pale, sunken eyes. "You look like hell," Daniel said. Michael shook his head, whispering, I didn't sleep. Daniel tried to laugh it off, saying, "Probably just some sick prank." But Michael's gaze flickered to the phone, whispering, "Then why was it my voice?" The air between them turned heavy, Daniel's grin fading as unease settled. Daniel leaned closer, waving a hand. "You're freaking yourself out," he said. Michael's voice trembled. "I swear it's me begging for help." Daniel frowned, grabbing the phone and scrolling through. No saved voicemails appeared, no call logs, nothing. "See? There's nothing here," he said, holding up the blank screen. Michael's stomach dropped. He whispered, "But I heard it. It played right in front of me." Daniel rolled his eyes, muttering, "Stress can do weird things." The tension cracked when the phone buzzed again on its own, lighting up with the word, "Play." Daniel froze, his forced calm crumbling, eyes wide as silence suffocated the room. The phone speaker crackled, and the voice returned. Michael's terrified sobs echoed, layered with metallic dragging. Daniel staggered back, muttering, "That's not possible." Michael clutched his head, shaking. The recording grew clearer, commanding, "Don't let him in." Michael whispered, "Who?" but the words faded into static. Suddenly, the dorm door rattled violently, as if someone pressed hard against it from the hall. Daniel cursed, eyes locked on the door. Michael gasped, "It warned us." The rattling stopped abruptly, leaving silence that weighed like stone. Both men stared at the door, waiting for the next sound. Daniel grabbed a chair, wedging it against the door. His voice cracked, "Nobody's getting in." Michael's phone slipped from his hand onto the bed, the voicemail cutting into silence. He said softly, "It knows us." Daniel shot him a sharp look, trying to mask fear with frustration. "It's just some psycho messing with us," he muttered. But the silence pressed heavier, broken only by Michael's shaky breathing. Then, from the hall beyond the door, came a faint whisper. It wasn't angry or loud. It was Michael's own voice, pleading softly, "Please let me in." The voice outside repeated, softer but urgent, "Please, I need your help." Michael clutched his stomach, whispering, "That's me. My voice." Daniel hissed, "Don't answer," but his hands trembled against the doorframe. Michael's eyes watered as he whispered, "If it's me, then who am I?" The phone lit again without touch, displaying a new message. "Listen closely." A crackling hiss filled the room before a chilling phrase emerged. Michael's own voice, crying out in despair, "He's already inside with you." The words dropped like ice, and both froze, their gazes darting across the small dorm, scanning shadows. The room was suffocating, the silence broken only by the faint ticking of the heater. Michael rubbed his temples, whispering, "I can't take this." Daniel paced near the door, muttering curses under his breath. Then the phone buzzed again, vibrating across the desk. The word "play" flashed, but the sound that followed wasn't a voicemail. It was a recording of the door rattling, as if mocking them with their own fear. Michael grabbed the phone and shouted, "What do you want from me?" His voice cracked, echoing in the confined space. Daniel snapped, "You're losing it, man." Yet Michael's reflection in the window whispered, lips moving silently, a fraction slower than his own. Michael stumbled back from the window, his voice low, "It's mimicking me." Daniel, frustrated, slammed his hand against the desk. "It's all in your head," he said, but his tone lacked conviction. The phone lit again, playing Michael's voice. "Daniel, don't trust me." Daniel froze, staring at Michael, as if weighing the words. Michael shook his head violently, whispering, "That's not me." Shadows around the room stretched longer, the glow of the desk lamp sputtering as if struggling to stay alive. For the first time, Daniel looked at Michael with something beyond concern, doubt. The floor creaked, though neither moved. Daniel whispered, "Someone's here," eyes darting toward the closet. Michael shook, clutching the phone as though it were his last tether to sanity. A faint laugh echoed, distorted, metallic, neither fully male nor female. Michael hissed, "It's mocking us." Daniel grabbed a metal flashlight from his drawer, holding it like a weapon. The laughter grew louder, weaving into the sound of dragging chains. Then, in the corner, The closet door opened wider with a slow groan. Both men stood frozen, breaths shallow, waiting for something to emerge. The closet remained empty, only darkness yawning back at them. Michael edged closer, whispering, "It's not real. It can't be." Daniel lifted the flashlight beam into the shadows, but the light bent strangely, absorbed by the dark. Suddenly, a voice rasped from inside, faint, broken, "You're already mine." Michael staggered back, nearly dropping his phone. The voicemail app opened by itself, words flashing across the screen. "Come outside." Michael gasped, "It's luring me." Daniel gritted his teeth, shaking his head. "You're not going anywhere." Yet his own fear showed in the tightness of his grip on the flashlight. Michael's chest heaved as he backed against the window. Then, from the hall outside, came a firm knock. 3 slow beats. Daniel raised his flashlight, ready to strike. Michael whispered, "Don't answer," but the knock came again, louder, followed by a voice. It was calm, human, yet unsettlingly familiar. "Michael, I know what's happening to you." Michael froze, eyes wide, whispering, "Who are you?" The stranger replied, "I've seen it before." Daniel hissed, "Don't open that door," but Michael's trembling hand inched toward the handle, pulled by something he couldn't explain. The knock on the door faded, replaced by silence so thick it roared. Michael whispered, "He knows what's happening." Daniel shook his head, gripping the flashlight tighter. "You don't know that," he snapped, though fear leaked into his voice. Michael's phone buzzed again, but this time, no words flashed. Instead, the screen showed a distorted image. Michael on the floor, blood pooling beneath him, face contorted in agony. He staggered back, gasping, "That's me. That's what's coming." Daniel muttered, "Stop looking at it." Michael's throat tightened as the image bled into static, then reformed into a single phrase, "It's already begun." Michael's chest rose and fell in quick bursts, his eyes fixed on the phone as if it could strike him dead. "It's showing me the future," he whispered. Daniel growled, "It's showing you lies." Yet Daniel's voice trembled. Suddenly, the voicemail app opened again by itself, and Michael's own voice cried out, ragged and desperate, "Daniel betrayed me." Silence followed, broken only by Daniel's sharp inhale. Michael looked up slowly, suspicion flickering in his eyes. Daniel's jaw tightened, fists clenched. He muttered, "Don't listen to that. It's trying to turn us against each other." But Michael stepped back further, whispering, "Why would it say your name?" The tension between them thickened until even breathing felt dangerous. Daniel raised the flashlight like a weapon. "You think I'd hurt you?" he demanded. Michael's voice cracked, "I don't know anymore." The phone buzzed once more, vibrating so violently it slid across the desk and crashed to the floor. Both men flinched as the speaker erupted with screams. Michael's voice agonized, cut with chains dragging. Then, through the chaos, words carved themselves into the phone's cracked screen. "He isn't your friend." Daniel's face twisted with fury. "It's lying," he shouted, but his eyes betrayed panic. Michael's heart pounded as he pressed against the window, shaking his head. "Why is it only warning me about you?" he asked. Daniel's voice cracked as he shouted, "Because it wants us divided." He lunged forward, grabbing Michael's arm. Michael yelped, trying to pull free. The phone on the floor hissed, voices overlapping. Michael's own voice screaming, "Don't let him touch you." Daniel's grip tightened, desperation burning in his eyes. "Snap out of it, Mike," he pleaded. But Michael only saw betrayal, his reflection in the window distorted, bleeding as though already wounded. The window rattled violently, glass shaking as though something unseen pounded from the other side. Both froze, Daniel still gripping Michael. Then a new sound seeped in. Laughter, guttural and layered, echoing from every corner of the room. Michael's phone lit one last time, glowing with words. "This is only the beginning." The laughter twisted into screams, not just his own but dozens of voices layered together, pleading, begging, warning. Michael's legs gave out, collapsing to the floor, while Daniel stepped back, face drained of color. For the first time he whispered what neither wanted to admit. It's real. The dorm lights flickered until they died, leaving the room in choking darkness. Michael gasped, fumbling for the phone. Its glow barely illuminated Daniel's tense face. "We have to get out," Daniel whispered, his voice cracking. Michael's heart pounded as he muttered, "It wants us outside." Daniel's jaw clenched. "Then maybe that's where we fight it." A low scrape echoed along the walls, like nails dragging. The sound circled them, closing in. Michael shook his head, voice breaking. "It's hunting us." Daniel gripped his shoulder, eyes fierce but afraid. "Then we don't run, we survive." The scraping grew louder, then stopped. From the silence came a knock, deliberate and slow from the closet. Michael froze, whispering, "It's inside." Daniel lifted the flashlight, hand trembling, beam cutting through the dark. The closet door shuddered, hinges whining. Michael's phone buzzed violently, words flashing, "Open it." Daniel shook his head, growling, "It wants us to." Michael whispered, "What if it's already here?" His reflection in the dark glass of the window mouthed words he hadn't spoken. "It's me." The closet creaked open by itself, inch by inch, until darkness spilled out like smoke. Daniel shouted, "Stay back," raising the flashlight. But nothing emerged, only whispers, layered and fractured, echoing Michael's own pleas. "Help me. Don't let them take me." Michael clutched his ears, dropping the phone which slid across the floor. Its screen lit with another image. Michael sprawled lifeless, Daniel standing over him. Michael's voice cracked. "It's showing me what you'll do." Daniel shouted, "It's lying," but doubt carved deep into Michael's chest. Michael scrambled for the phone, clutching it as static erupted into screams. His own voice pierced through. "Daniel, don't let him near you." Michael staggered, eyes wild, whispering, "It's not you. It's something using me." Daniel's hand shook as he lowered the flashlight. For the first time, his bravado cracked. "I don't know if you're losing it, or if I am," he admitted. The dorm door rattled violently again, shaking the chair free. Both turned, frozen. Outside, a shadow stretched under the door, longer and sharper than any human form. The door swung open with a crash, but no one stood there. The hallway beyond was empty, drowning in darkness. Michael whispered, "It's inside already." Daniel raised the flashlight, but the beam bent, warping like heat waves. The shadows along the walls writhed, crawling toward them. Michael's phone glowed one last time, words pulsing. "Run?" He gasped, voice trembling, "It's after us." Daniel grabbed his arm, pulling him toward the hall. "Then we don't stop until we're out." Behind them, the closet slammed shut with a thunderous echo, sealing the warning in. The hallway swallowed them whole, the dorm behind sealed in darkness. Michael clutched the phone, its glow guiding each step. "Ani." Daniel whispered, "Keep moving." Their footsteps echoed unnaturally, doubling back like others walked with them. Michael's chest heaved, whispering, "It's recording me again." The phone buzzed, and his own ragged voice spilled out, "This is where I die." Daniel froze, eyes locking on Michael, disbelief and fear colliding. Michael whispered, "It already knows." The lights overhead flickered, revealing for only a second a tall shadow figure at the corridor's end, waiting. The shadow figure dissolved into darkness, leaving only silence. Daniel hissed, "It's playing with us." Michael's phone glowed again, showing a timestamp, 12:01 a.m., the same as the first voicemail. His voice played, broken and terrified. "He's watching me bleed." Michael clutched his head, whispering, "That's tonight." Daniel grabbed his shoulder, forcing eye contact. "You're not dying tonight. I won't let it happen." But the phone buzzed again, cutting Daniel off, screaming Michael's voice in agony. The sound echoed so violently, it shook the ceiling lights loose, sparks raining. They stumbled forward, sparks fading behind them. The phone buzzed again and slipped from Michael's hand, skidding across the floor. On screen was a video recording. Michael, bloodied, crawling across the same hallway. His recorded self screamed, Help me! Daniel cursed, lunging to grab the phone, but Michael stopped him, whispering, "Don't touch it." The recording froze on Michael's broken face, eyes pleading. Then the screen cracked itself, splintering with a deafening snap. Michael screamed, stumbling back. The reflection of his injured self lingered on the shattered glass, still mouthing, "Help me." The lights overhead went out entirely, plunging them into blackness. Only the fractured glow of the phone lit the hall. Chains clattered in the dark circling. Daniel swung the flashlight wildly, but the beam bent, refracted, showing glimpses of impossible shapes crawling along walls. Michael's voice erupted again from the phone, "It's behind you!" Both spun, the beam shaking. Shadows stitched together into the tall figure once more, its face hidden, only hollow darkness where features should be. Michael whispered, "That's what I become." The figure tilted its head, mimicking his movements. The gear lunged forward, shadows stretching across the hallway. Daniel shoved Michael back, shouting, "Run!" Michael stumbled, gripping the cracked phone. His voice screamed again from it, "You can't escape me!" Michael collapsed to his knees, gasping, "It's me. It's always been me." The figure towered, reaching out with elongated arms, fingers dissolving into smoke. Daniel swung the flashlight, the beam splintering against the void. Michael's phone flickered, final words flashing across the shattered screen. "This is your end." Michael screamed as the hallway shook, the prophecy unfolding in real time. The hallway shook as if the building itself recoiled. Daniel pulled Michael to his feet, shouting, "Move!" They stumbled into the stairwell, the air dense with smoke and whispers. Michael gasped, "It's following us." The cracked phone vibrated violently in his grip, flashing distorted images of their exact movements in real time. Daniel cursed, dragging him down the stairs, flashlight beam fractured into shards. A voice echoed from below, low and guttural, "You cannot escape yourself." Michael's legs buckled, whispering, "It knows every step before we take it." They burst through the stairwell door into the ground floor corridor. The space stretched impossibly long, doors warped and endless. Michael whispered, "It's not real." Daniel growled, "Keep running." The phone speaker hissed before erupting with Michael's own scream, but this time it was live, echoing around them, though his lips never moved. He dropped the phone, shattering it further, but the sound didn't stop. From every door along the corridor, voices spilled out, all his voice, begging for help in dozens of tones. Daniel's jaw clenched, muttering, "It's everywhere." Daniel stopped abruptly, swinging the flashlight toward a figure standing mid-corridor. It was Michael, bloodied, clothes torn, crawling, exactly as shown on the phone earlier. The injured double lifted his head, eyes hollow, whispering, "Help me." Michael froze, whispering, "That's me." Daniel hissed, "Don't look at it." But the double staggered closer, dragging itself forward, every movement matching the recorded prophecy. Michael's chest tightened, tears streaking down his pale face. He whispered, "This is the end I heard." The crawling double collapsed, blood smearing across the floor, whispering one last plea. "You can't change it." Michael fell to his knees, screaming, "No." Daniel grabbed his shoulders, shaking him, "Don't give in." But the shadows writhed, converging on the broken figure. The walls pulsed as though alive, voices overlapping in screams. Michael's phone flickered back to life despite being shattered, glowing with one phrase. "Accept it." Michael's trembling hand reached toward the dying double, unable to resist the pull of his own inevitable fate. The lights overhead exploded, plunging everything into red emergency glow. Michael's scream echoed as his body blurred, torn between himself and the broken double. Daniel shouted, "Fight it!" But his voice drowned in the storm of whispers. The figure loomed behind them again, faceless and vast, hands stretching forward. Michael's final cry filled the corridor, merging with the voicemail in a perfect loop. "Please help me, don't let them take me." Then silence. The corridor stood empty. The phone lay cracked on the floor, still glowing faintly with one last word pulsing. "Forever."